Hello and welcome to the Tomcast. I'm Tom, president and dictator for life of 515comics.com. Chester, I'm starting the recording over. Yeah, I'm starting the recording over so you can come back in here and make a bunch of noise. Thank you. Is that the loudest toy that you have? It might be. It's up there. I wanted to make a video talking about priorities. This is just going to be a thing that's happening. There's just nothing we can do about that. I wanted to make a video talking about priorities because mine have changed so much in the past 2 years. And, well, it's probably been over 6 months since I last did a Tomcast. And so, because my priorities have been shifting so much, and are still pretty much in flux, I just wanted to kind of like get some ideas out and talk a little bit about what I've needed to change in my life in the past 2 years, specifically regarding my creative endeavors. Seriously, man, it is the loudest toy. It's a metal that he's just picking up and dropping on the floor. Chester. Well, he's working really hard, so I'm just gonna let him, because good for him, Anyway, so I got a new job. I got a new defining characteristic in the past year and a half. I became a dad, and starting out, I was trying really hard to keep, I was trying to keep all of my other defining features, and without really adjusting. I just wanted to do everything. So I wanted to be a dad, I wanted to be a husband, I wanted to be a friend, and I wanted to be a storyteller with my comic, and I still wanted to be able to go to work every day and, make money to be able to do all of those other things, essentially. Yay, capitalism. So very quickly I hit a wall and realized that I really did have a choice to make. The change occurred, and even though I knew that things would be different and that I would have to make adjustments, I did not realize to what extent that would impact the creative side of my life. Tomcast was the first to take the hit. It went from a weekly series to not at all. It effectively just stopped. I think I tried to do monthly shows or tried to do it as often as I could. The problem was when things fall off priority, when it's not a priority anymore, then it just doesn't happen. And that's what happened to the Tomcast, and that's pretty much what happened to the comic for a while too. For a while I was trying to keep things going as they were without making any real adjustments, but the priorities had shifted. Being a dad, and specifically being Chester's dad, was taking up a lot of my time and my energy, and not really in a negative way, just in a way that I really couldn't do all of the things that I wanted to do. And because of the way things were prioritized, being a dad, having a family, being a husband, those being at the top, made it so that the storytelling part of my life, the creative part of my life, was taking all of the hits. When I let myself relax the priority level of something like the Tomcast, it just stops. You know, back when I was doing it each week, I didn't have as many responsibilities. And so it was a lot easier for me to prioritize it of like, hey, I definitely need to have 2 to 4 hours to set aside for shooting and editing and uploading a video. And 2 to 4 hours in a week is not that much. But again, like that was just one of the things where it's like, well, I guess that's something that I can kind of like pump the brakes on. But pumping the brakes effectively meant stop. As soon as I found out that I didn't have to do it, I just stopped doing it. And that's kind of what happened with the comic too, although I never wanted the comic to slow down at all. And so every time I was missing an update, and I started to miss a lot, it was very painful because my attitude has always been consistency is super important with webcomics especially. And I didn't have any of that anymore. And motivation is cool, but discipline is better. And I felt very undisciplined because I was missing all of these updates. And then just I didn't want to let it go. Being a storyteller was really, really important to me. And so it was really hard to finally make a statement saying that I'm going to drop to as possible updates. And when I did that, I pretty much stopped. I did, like, there were some months where I did 1 or 2 pages. Like, it's not been great. Now I'm trying to do about a page a week. And I can usually manage that. But, there's been a pretty major shift. And I still don't feel good about it. It's still, again, it's painful to think about sometimes. But I made those changes because I needed to. Because, again, my life changed and my priorities changed, and it was just bigger than I thought it was going to be. A lot of people have reminded me, I've asked for advice from other creative people who have kids and just other parents and stuff, like, how do you still have your identity and be a parent and all that stuff? And, I feel like people usually have very good and insightful things to say, but it's all stuff that I kind of know. Eventually your kids will grow up and you will have some more time to yourself again. But by then you will be a different person and your priorities will have been changed so long that you may not go back to, like, I don't even want to say it out loud. I may never make comics and go to shows and produce stuff the way that I did before I became a dad. And that's okay. I don't know what the point of this is. What's my big takeaway? I've been talking for 8 minutes already, and I don't really know where I want to go with this. I guess I just kind of wanted to share, that, like, it's been really hard to loosen the grip on that part of myself. And I've been so afraid that by relaxing my discipline and by lowering the priority of these things that I feel are very core to the person that I am, that I'm relinquishing part of my identity, possibly never to reclaim it. And I mean, that sounds very dramatic, but sometimes feelings are very dramatic. So yeah, this last year has been very challenging. I haven't gone to any conventions. I haven't tabled at any conventions. I've visited 1 or 2. But even going to shows has been very painful as well, because it kind of reminds me of what I'm not doing. And as much as I'm happy to see and support all of my great friends that I've made in the con-going community here in Iowa, it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks to go and not be doing it. But telling stories is always going to be part of who I am. It's always going to be important to me. There we are. And so, I guess the point of this is to say that I was afraid that was going to happen, and I'm still not totally convinced that I will ever go back. I'm never going to go back to who I was before I was also a dad, because I will always be a dad from now until forever. So that priority is always going to be there. That things have shifted. We're still just kind of sorting it all out. The thing, I guess the takeaway that I want to have, it's not that I've had like some epiphany or anything. It's just really that, like, even though it was a lot harder than I thought it would be, and I had to give up a lot more than I thought I would have to, it's still like, I'm still me. I still want to tell stories. I still fully intend to finish Next to the Search for the Ocean Shard and tell stories after that and get it all published in physical books and still go to shows sometimes. So that none of that's gone. That's still part of who I am. I'm still the president and dictator for life of 515comics.com. So yeah, even though it's been really hard and really painful, it is still part of me, and it is still something that I'm going to endeavor to do the best that I can to continue. The dirty secret is that I have enough time in my life that I could still do 3 pages a week, and I could still do a Tomcast each week. But for the sake of my mental health, I'm not going to, at least not for the foreseeable future. So I'm going to keep at it. I'm going to keep trying to do as much as I can when I can. And, just know that I'm still around. Check in on me from time to time. There's going to be new pages. There'll hopefully be new Tomcasts occasionally. And yeah, like, I'm not done being creative. I'm not going to give up that part of who I am. Even though there are days where it feels like, to an extent, I have. But I don't think I ever could. Even if I thought I wanted to, I don't think I really could. That's right. I agree with you. Where are you? There you are. I don't know what else. I've been thinking about making this video for a long time, and I feel like there are a lot of like ideas buzzing around in my head that just didn't get out. I guess one thing I did want to talk about was the Tomcast. What is the format? So forever, the Tomcast has been a place where I can tell the internet things so that I am holding myself accountable, because I don't want to lie to the internet. That still might happen sometimes, but ultimately, I think that I'm going to move away from that. I think, all in all, I kind of have to move away from a lot of the definitive promises, even though that consistency is something that I have strived for in the past, and something that I feel is still very, very important. I just don't think that that's what I need in my life right now. Because giving myself a lot of deadlines is not necessarily going to make me feel better. And feeling better is pretty important to me these days. So, I guess to kind of wrap things up, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos, to read my comics now and in the past, forever. You guys are awesome. It's really, really cool that the internet exists, and that I have a platform upon which I can share my ideas and my experiences, and have someone to talk to even when I don't have someone to talk to, or start a conversation or tell a story. I think that this is really great, and I really appreciate y'all. Really? What squeaky toy now? I really appreciate y'all consuming the media that I create, because that's why I do it. I do it because I want to have a conversation with people. I want to tell a story to people, and I would do it anyway because I want to tell a story, but like part of telling a story is for somebody to listen to it. So I just really appreciate that. And to any of you out there who want to create, who are creating, who are struggling to create, I mean, just know that that even when it's really hard, and even when you feel like you're having to change all the way down to your very core, and you don't want to, but circumstance or life or whatever is causing you to make change, or to sort of let things go for the sake of your sanity or what have you, that it's all going to be okay. If you have to stop for a while, if you have to slow down, if you come back, if you never come back, if you start something else, there's always going to be people there who want to see what you got going on. I do. Hey, come here. Do you want to be in this? Oh, you're so big. Look, there's Chester. So anyway, I guess that's it. I don't know. I guess that's it. So thanks very much for watching. You guys are the best. I'm going to keep doing the best that I can, because that's all that I can do. And I'll see you out there. Keep your stick on the ice. Oh, put that down.